The cry in the dark. The jungle was thick, dark, and silent. Only the sound of Drake's boots stepping on the wet ground could be heard. He was alone. The trees were tall, and the sky was covered with strange purple clouds. Drake was not lost. He was a space explorer from Earth. His ship had landed on this unknown planet just hours ago. His mission was to scan the land, collect data, and leave. Simple, that's what he thought. But then, he heard it, a sound. A soft, strange sound. He stopped walking. There it was again. It was not the wind, not a bird. It was a cry. A child's. Cry. Drake looked around. What the hell? He whispered. He tapped his helmet. The sound came again, clearer now. A high-pitched sob, almost like a little girl crying for help. But there was no one here. No humans. No kids. Just trees, vines, and fog. He checked his scanner. No signs of life. Still, the cry continued. Drake's heart beat faster. He knew he should call it in, but something pulled him toward the sound. Something in his gut told him this wasn't just noise. This was a someone. He followed the cry, step by step, deeper into the jungle. The trees got thicker. The fog grew heavy. He had to push vines away from his face. The light from his helmet cut through the darkness, but not much. Then suddenly, the crying stopped. Silence. Drake froze. He held his breath. Hello? He called out. Is someone there? No answer. He turned around slowly, checking every direction. The silence was loud. Too loud. Then he heard a whisper. Not in his ears, but in his mind. Help. Me. Drake stepped back. What the? Then between two thick trees, he saw her, a tiny figure, small and glowing. She stood in the shadows. Her skin was light silver, and her eyes were big, round, and bright blue. She wore something like a torn spacesuit. Her little hands covered her face as she cried. Drake's eyes widened. He raised both hands slowly. Hey. It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you, he said softly. The little alien girl looked up. She looked afraid. Lost, alone. It's okay. I can help you, Drake said, taking one slow step forward. But as soon as he moved, she gasped, her eyes filled with panic, and in a blink, she vanished. Like smoke in the wind. Gone. Drake stood still, stunned. His scanner still showed nothing. No life forms, nothing at all. He rubbed his eyes. Did I just imagine that? But he knew the truth. She was real. And now she was gone again. He sat down on a fallen log, thinking. Who was she? Why was she crying? Why could she speak inside his mind? More importantly, where was she now? Suddenly, his wrist screen blinked. New energy reading. Just for a second. Then gone. Not a ghost, he said to himself. Something's out here, and it needs help. He looked back into the jungle. It was darker now. Night was coming fast. His instincts told him to go back to the ship, but his heart told him to stay. Drake stood up. He checked his gear, tightened his boots, and turned his flashlight back on. If you're out there, he whispered, I'm going to find you. As he walked forward, the trees seemed to move with him, like the jungle itself was watching. Somewhere far behind him, something made a low growl. Drake didn't turn around. He kept walking, because now the crying had started again. Only this time, it was closer. She comes at night. Drake couldn't sleep. He sat inside his small camp pod, the door sealed, the lights dimmed. Outside, the alien jungle was alive, clicking, hissing, whispering. He had seen many strange planets, but this one felt different. Something about it was watching him. Something other than the little girl. He leaned back in his chair, replaying the helmet recording. Again and again, that cry. That soft, trembling voice. Those glowing eyes. Was she real? Or had the planet already started messing with his mind? He closed his eyes, just for a second, and then he saw her. She was standing at the edge of a cliff, under a sky filled with strange stars. Her small hands were reaching out to him, her mouth moving, but no sound came. Her eyes were full of tears. Behind her, something dark moved, like a shadow with claws. Drake gasped and woke up, but he wasn't in his pod anymore. He was in the jungle, alone. What the hell? He whispered, spinning around. The trees were silent. The fog rolled low over the ground. His heart pounded in his chest. He looked down, barefoot, no suit. No gear, just clothes. This is a dream, he said. Has to be. Then, from the trees, came a glow, blue. Soft. Familiar, it was her. The alien girl. She stepped out slowly, her silver skin shining in the moonlight. Her eyes locked onto his. This time, she didn't look afraid. She looked. Sad, and then he heard. Her, not with his ears, with his mind. They're gone. They're all gone. I'm alone. Drake felt a wave of pain inside his chest that wasn't his. It was hers. He saw flashes, images firing through his mind like lightning. A world covered in crystals. Tall beings with soft faces, smiling at her. Then fire. Explosions, screams. Black ships in the sky. A woman, her mother, holding her tight and whispering something. A pod. The stars. Crash. Jungle, then silence. She looked at him as if asking, do you understand now? Drake dropped to one knee. You? You're the last one, he whispered. She nodded. A single tear fell from her eye and turned into light as it hit the ground. Suddenly, the jungle shook. Loud. Violent. Something was coming. Something big. The little girl's eyes went wide. She screamed. Inside his mind, run! Before Drake could move, the dream shattered, and he woke up. This time, for real. Back inside his pod. Alarms blinking. Ground shaking. Drake scrambled to his feet. Outside, trees were falling. A shadow passed over. His camp, huge and fast. He grabbed his suit, ran to the door, and burst outside. The jungle was glowing. Blue vines lighting up. Birds flying in panic. And there, standing in the trees, was the little girl, glowing brighter than ever. Drake blinked. Is this still the dream? She pointed behind him. He turned. Something massive crashed through. The jungle. 4 legs, 6 eyes, metal armor on its back. It roared, and it was heading straight for him. Drake raised his arm to activate his blaster, but the girl raised hers first. A wave of blue light exploded from her hand. The creature froze, mid-charge. Its body lifted into the air, and then dropped like a stone, unconscious. Drake stared. The little girl looked weak now. She fell to her knees. He ran to her, scooped her up in his arms. You saved me, he whispered. She was cold, shaking. Not safe here, she said into his mind. They are looking for me. They will come. Who's they? Drake asked. She didn't answer. She just looked up at the stars. And then, a distant sound. A low metallic hum. Drake followed her gaze. And there they were. In the sky. Just above the clouds. 3 dark ships. Waiting. Watching. Jungle of eyes. The jungle was alive. But nothing moved. No birds. No insects. No wind. Just silence. Too much silence. Drake had felt fear before. But this was different. This wasn't just fear. It was being watched. Hunted. He walked slowly through the glowing underbrush. The tiny alien girl, Luma, in his arms. Her body was still weak. She hadn't spoken since last night, but her eyes, they were wide open, staring into the jungle. "Luma," he whispered. "What do you see?" She didn't speak, but slowly, she raised a trembling hand and pointed. Drake turned his head, and his blood ran cold. 2 yellow eyes, floating between the trees. They blinked. Then vanished. Drake tightened his grip around her and stepped back, but Luma's voice echoed in his head. "They are watching, not just one." He turned around again at another pair of eyes. Red this time. Then another, and another. 5, 6, 10 glowing sets of eyes surrounded them, high in trees, low in the bushes, quiet, still, unblinking. Then came the sound. Click, click, click. Not human, not animal. Mechanical, sharp, like metal tapping on bone. Drake backed up until his boot hit a tree root. "Luma, what are they?" he asked. "Hunters," she said softly. "Not from this planet, not alive, not dead. They follow the scent of my mind." Drake scanned the jungle, sweat dripping down his back. The air was thick now, like breathing through syrup. He looked down at her. "Why didn't they attack yet?" "They are waiting for the leader." Suddenly, the ground shook. A low, heavy vibration. The trees parted. And something stepped out. It looked almost human. Tall, armored, wearing a helmet with no face. Its hands were long, made of black metal, ending in fingers like needles. On its chest, glowing red symbols. The jungle seemed to bow to it. Drake didn't move. Neither did Luma. "That's him," she whispered. "The Mind Eater." The creature raised a hand, and all the other glowing eyes blinked in sync. Drake aimed his blaster, but before he could fire, his weapon flew out of his hands and slammed into a tree. He couldn't move. His arms, his legs, frozen. Only his eyes could shift, and he could feel something entering his mind. Digging, searching, human. A deep, broken voice echoed in his thoughts. "Why protect her? She is broken. She is the last error of a dead race." Drake gritted his teeth. "Get out of my head. You are weak. You feel pain. You remember your mother's face, your father's voice. You fear death." The creature leaned in closer, though its feet never touched the ground. "We do not fear. We end." Then suddenly, a blue flash. A wave of light exploded from Luma's hands. The Mind Eater staggered back, screeching. His army of glowing eyes vanished. Into the trees. Drake collapsed to the ground, gasping. Free. Luma's nose bled. Her body shook. She looked up at Drake, her voice small in his head. "I can't hold them off again. We must run. We must find the tree." Drake coughed. "What tree?" "The memory tree. It holds my past and the key to stop them." He stood up, cradling her. "Where is it?" "South. Deep. Far from here. But they will follow. Always." Drake nodded. "Then let them." He looked into the jungle. Let them come. Then, without another word, he ran through the fog, through the vines, through the jungle of eyes. They watched him leave. But they did not follow. Not yet. She's not alone. Drake ran. Branches slapped his face. Vines tugged at his legs. The jungle screamed around him, but he didn't stop. Luma was in his arms, her eyes half closed. Her glow was dim. "The memory tree," she whispered inside his mind. Almost there. Drake didn't know where he was going. The scanner on his wrist was going crazy, picking up massive energy readings ahead. The ground beneath him pulsed like a heartbeat. He pushed through one last wall of leaves and stopped. A giant tree stood before him. No, not just a tree. A living monument. Its bark shimmered like crystal. Its roots glowed with soft blue light. and hanging from its branches were hundreds, no, thousands of orbs, floating, flickering, like stars. Each orb pulsed with memories. And all of them whispered. Drake couldn't understand the words, but he felt them. Emotions, echoes, loss, hope. This is it, he said. Luma nodded weakly. Drake placed her down gently near the tree's base. She reached out, her hand touching the trunk, and everything changed. The jungle went silent. Time froze. Then ash flashed. Drake's single quotes. His mind was pulled into hers. He saw her past, but clearer now. Her people, peaceful, brilliant, glowing beings who spoke through thought, emotion, and song. He saw Luma as a baby, floating in air, her mother singing. To her in light, he saw cities made of glass and sky. And then, the attack. Dark ships, mind-eaters. Silence turned into screaming. Her father stood at the memory tree, whispering something before he vanished into light. Then, Luma being placed in a stasis pod. Launched into space. Her mother crying. Then turning into mist. Back in the present, Drake opened his eyes. He was crying. He didn't even realize it. Luma was glowing again. Brighter, now. Stronger. But something else had changed. From behind the tree, a shadow moved. Drake stood up fast, weapon ready. Who's there? He called out. Silence. Then, a figure stepped forward. It looked familiar. Human. Tall, worn clothes. One cybernetic eye. Whoa, the man said, raising his hands. Easy, pal. Drake stared. Who are you? Name's Kellen, Earthborn. Explorer, like you. He smirked. You're late, by the way. Drake didn't lower his blaster. How long have you been here? 3 years, Kellen said. Crashed, survived, found this place. He looked at Luma and paused. Seen her before, he whispered. Luma's voice echoed in both their minds. You were at the tree when I arrived? Kellen nodded slowly. I thought she was a ghost, he said, or a dream. She saved me once, then vanished. Drake frowned. Then why didn't you help her? I tried, but I wasn't ready. She chose you, didn't she? Drake stayed silent. Kellen stepped forward. This tree, it connects minds. Shows you truths you're not ready to face. It nearly broke me, but maybe together. Suddenly, the jungle trembled. The lights in the tree flickered. They're coming, Luma whispered. Kellen looked up. Oh no. Above them, the sky cracked open. Not clouds, a portal. Mind-eaters had found the tree. Dozens of black ships slipped through the sky like knives. The air turned cold. Kellen pulled a strange weapon from his back. Not Earth tech. Hybrid blaster, he said. Made it using their junk. Hits hard. Drake smiled. Good, let's hit harder. They stood together, back to back. Luma rose. Slowly, floating off the ground. Her body shone like a star now. They fear this tree, she said, because this tree remembers everything, and it can awaken them. Drake blinked. Them? Before she could answer, the tree roared. Light exploded from its roots, and out from the orbs came figures. Not fully alive, not fully dead. Echoes, spirits, guardians, Luma's people. Not all gone, not yet. They stood between the tree and the mind-eaters. And for the first time, Drake wasn't alone. Luma wasn't alone. Humanity wasn't alone. The memory tree shook like it was alive. Its branches reached high into the sky, glowing brighter than ever before. Sparks of blue light rained down like fireflies. Drake stood frozen, mouth open, watching the impossible. Hundreds of glowing figures stepped out from the orbs, shimmering forms of Luma's people. They looked like memories, but moved like soldiers, One by one, they formed a circle around the tree. Echo guardians, Luma whispered in his mind. Spirits of my ancestors. The last defense of my kind. Drake turned to her. She was floating again, arms spread, her glow fierce and steady. Then, the sky-ripped dot-black ships, mind-eaters, poured through the portal like insects from a hive. Their engines screamed, there. Weapons lit up. They were not here to talk. They were here to erase. Kellen, the older human survivor, loaded his hybrid rifle. Welp, he said with a grin. Looks like it's shoot o'clock, Drake smirked. Let's give them a welcome. Before they could fire, the mind-eaters struck first. Beams of dark energy rained down on the jungle, turning trees into ash. But the memory tree pulsed, and a dome of light rose from its roots, shielding everyone beneath. The war had begun. Drake looked at Luma. Can your people fight? They don't fight with weapons, she said. They fight with memory. And suddenly, Drake understood. The Echo Guardians didn't shoot. They projected. Each one touched the air, and memories burst into life. Images, emotions, history. Mind-eaters stopped in midair. Stunned. They began screaming, not from pain, but confusion. Anger. Drake watched as one black ship lost control and crashed into the ground. Another flipped upside down, spinning wildly. They can't handle memory, he realized. They erase minds, but they fear remembering. Luma stepped forward. This is why they destroy worlds, she said. To stop memories from living. But the mind-eaters were learning. Their leader, the mind-eater general, descended from the largest ship, cloaked in obsidian armor and surrounded by floating orbs. No more past, it growled. No more stories. No more children of light. He lifted his hand, and the light dome cracked. Suddenly, the guardians began. Fading. No. Luma cried. The general had launched a memory eater, a black wave that devoured thought, story, soul. Even the tree shook in pain. Drake turned to Kellen. Any bright ideas? Yeah, Kellen said, pulling out a strange metal cube. I've been building this from their tech. Reverse engineered it. Never tested it, though. What does it do? Hope, Kellen shrugged. Or it kills us. Drake grabbed it. Good enough. He ran toward the tree's core. Luma's voice cried. In his head, the heart of the tree, go to the heart. Drake reached a glowing platform at the base of the trunk. His suit beeped. Luma floated beside him, her hands glowing. Touch it with your mind, she said. Remember something. Something powerful. Drake hesitated. Then he closed his eyes, and he remembered his little sister's laughter, his father teaching him how to fly, his mother's hug before his first space, mission, love, family. Hope. The tree responded. The light turned gold. The cube in his hand exploded in energy, not outward, but inward, pulling the memories into itself. It floated upward and shot toward the mind-eater general. It hit him. And for the first time, he remembered his past, who he used to be. He fell to his knees, screaming, a terrible broken sound. No, we were alive, and then silence. The ship stopped firing. The black portal flickered, and the mind-eaters, all of them, began to vanish, like smoke in wind. Not destroyed. Returned to memory. The tree stood calm again. The jungle exhaled. Luma floated down beside Drake, her glow softer. Now, you did it, she whispered. We did it, Drake said. But it's not over yet, is it? She shook her head. The mind-eaters will return, somewhere, someday. But now, I remember who I am. And I am not the last. Drake tilted his head. What do you mean? Luma smiled, tears glowing on her cheeks. There's another. The signal. The jungle was quiet again, not too quiet. The battle was over. The sky had healed. The mind-eaters were gone. But Drake couldn't. Relax, neither could Luma. The glow around the memory tree was fading, as if it had done its job, and was now going back to sleep. Drake sat on a mossy rock, eyes on the stars. Luma stood beside him, her silver fingers touching a broken leaf like it was made of glass. Is it over? Drake asked. No, Luma whispered. It's only the beginning. From the other side of the clearing, Kellen walked up, holding a small transmitter. I've rewired the comms. I think I can send a signal now to Earth. Drake stood. Do it. We need help, reinforcements, rescue. Kellen. She hesitated. Just be sure. Once we send this out, anyone out there can hear it. Not just Earth. Drake nodded. We don't have a choice. Kellen pressed the button. The signal launched into the stars, a beam of white light, filled with coordinates and a warning. Uncharted planet, memory-based alien tech. Hostile species encountered, survivors present. Urgent assistance required. The light disappeared into the sky. And now they waited. Hours passed. Luma sat under the tree, deep in thought. Her eyes glowed faintly, and her fingers moved like she was writing invisible letters in the air. Drake noticed. What are you doing? Calling someone, she said softly. Someone who might be like me. His eyes narrowed. You? Said you were the last. That's what I believed. But the tree showed me more. Then suddenly, a crackle. The transmitter beeped. A voice came through. Robotic, calm, Earth command. Transmission received. Coordinates locked. Arrival. In 6 hours. Prepare for extraction. Kellen grinned. Told you it'd work. Drake smiled, but something in his gut twisted. Too fast. Too easy. Luma stood up, her face unreadable. That's not Earth, she said. Kellen blinked. What? Sure it is. That voice, Luma said. I've heard it before. In a dream. A dream that ended in fire. Drake checked the logs. They're using Earth frequencies. But not Earth intention, Luma replied. Then the sky opened again, not with fire, but with silence. A ship descended, sleek, silver, clean. Too clean. It hovered with no sound. No heat, no exhaust. And it landed. The ramp opened. 3 humans stepped out. All wore clean white suits. No dust, no sweat, no emotion. Explorers, the first one said. His eyes were too perfect. His smile too still. Drake Mercer, he said. You've been missed. Drake raised an eyebrow. You know my name? Of course, the man said. We know all names connected to her. He pointed at Luma. The other 2 stepped closer. No sudden moves, Kellen said, aiming his blaster. Easy, the woman in the white suit replied. We're here to help. Lies, Luma said softly. They are not human. Not fully. They were touched by the mind-eaters and changed. The man smiled wider. Impressive. Her memory is stronger than expected. He snapped his fingers. Behind them, the ship pulsed. From the sides. They came. More agents, not human anymore, not machine. Somewhere in between, their skin flickered. Their eyes glowed with a faint red hue. Drake's blood went cold. There. Hybrids. No, Luma said. They're replacements. Suddenly, the jungle exploded in light. Drake pulled Luma behind him. Kellen fired the first shot. The lead agent dodged it like a ghost. Chaos. The memory tree glowed again, but dimmer now. Weaker. Drake grabbed Luma's hand and ran. We need to get to higher ground. They dodged blasts, jumped over roots, ducked beneath branches. Behind them, the agents moved without sound, like they knew every step before it happened. They've connected to the signal, Luma said. They're reading the future through memory paths. Can we stop them? Drake asked. No, she whispered. But we can block the signal. Drake turned. How? We destroy the tree. He froze. What? That tree saved us. It also called them here. Silence. Behind them, the agents marched closer, smiling. Your choice, human, one of them said. Protect the past, or survive the future. Drake looked at the memory tree, then at Luma. He had 5 seconds to decide. Humanity, answers Drake, stood frozen between two impossible choices. Behind him, the memory tree, glowing softly, filled with the souls of an ancient race. In front of him, a wave of hybrid soldiers, smiling with lifeless eyes, walking closer with weapons drawn. Destroy the tree, Luma whispered. End the signal. Stop them. But Drake couldn't move. He looked at the glowing bark. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. He saw the memories it held: joy, pain, knowledge, love, the very soul of Luma's people. If we destroy it, you'll lose them forever, he said. Luma didn't speak. She just looked at him with eyes full of stars and sadness. Kellen was already planting charges around the roots. Drake, we don't have time. They'll wipe us out. The lead agent stepped forward from the shadows. His voice was calm, like a teacher speaking to a child. You don't need to fight. Humanity can join us. You can evolve. Leave behind your pain, your fear. Become perfect. Drake glared. If perfection means forgetting who we are, I'll stay broken. The agent sighed. We offered peace. You offered control. Kellen shouted. The memory tree began, humming louder, like it was trying to speak. And that's when Drake made his decision. Not with anger, not with fear, but with hope. Stop the charges, he said to Kellen. Kellen blinked. Are you crazy? No, Drake said. I'm human. He turned to Luma. I need to use the tree one last time. She hesitated. You're not one of us. No, he said, but I remember too. He stepped toward the tree, placed his hand on the trunk, and let go. Of fear, of doubt, of silence. And the tree responded. Boom. A blast of light erupted, and suddenly, every mind on the battlefield connected. Hybrids, humans, Luma, the tree. Everyone. Together. Drake wasn't just remembering his past anymore. He was sharing it. His first heartbreak, his mom's laugh, the time he almost gave up, the moment he chose to keep going. One by one, the hybrids dropped their weapons. Their hands shook. Tears fell, some of them for the first time in decades. This is humanity? One whispered. This hurts. Yes, Luma said, floating beside Drake. And that's why it matters. The lead agent screamed, his body cracking, his code glitching. N.O. We are order. You cannot win. With chaos. Drake looked up at him. We're not chaos. We're memory. We're story. We're choice. And with that, the tree pulsed once more. It didn't explode. It expanded. Its roots reached into the sky like arms, and instead of deleting the hybrids, it freed them. The red glow left their eyes. The metal under their skin faded. They fell to their knees, breathing, crying, alive again. The sky was quiet. The portal closed. The war was over. And Drake? He was still standing, hand on the tree, eyes closed. Luma floated beside him, glowing with peaceful light. You didn't destroy our past, she whispered. You added to it. He opened his eyes. What happens now? She smiled. Now, we build a new one. A week later, the jungle was quiet, but not dead. New growth had begun. The tree was smaller now, sleepier, but still glowing. Drake sat near its base. A small device in his hand. Earth had answered the signal. The real Earth this time. Ships were coming, with questions. and offers. Kellen had already started mapping the terrain for a future outpost. Typical explorer. And Luma? She was watching the stars. You're leaving soon, she said softly. Drake nodded. I'll be back. You promise? He smiled. I'm human. We make terrible promises. She giggled. But sometimes you keep them anyway. He stood, looked up at the stars, then back at her. You're not alone anymore, Luma. She tilted her head. Neither are you. Then they both looked at the tree. A new orb had appeared on its lowest branch. Inside it, a glowing image. A man with tired eyes. A girl with stars in hers. Standing side by side, not memory, not legacy.